And now to a developing story we've been on top of for more than a month. A jail escapee from Tattnall County has been spotted again in our area.
That's right. Chad Dasher has been on the run since January 24th, but he has managed to elude authorities. WJCL's Larry Sproul is live in Tattnall County with the latest on the search. Larry?
That's right, Kevin and Jennifer. I'm here live in downtown Reedsville where a man is still on the loose. The man that I'm talking about is Chad Dasher, who escaped from here back in January of this year, and law officials thought they had him last night and into today. Now, what happened last night was that they got a call about Chad Dasher showing up to a man's front door. That man called law officials and they went searching for that man, Chad Dasher, last night. They also tried again earlier today after going to Chad Dasher's wife's house, and they noticed that somebody was running from the house into the woods. Now, that turned out to be his son actually that went running, but they went into a full search, searching a whole entire neighborhood for Chad Dasher. Now, we talked to sheriffs and law officials earlier today about the search, about Chad Dasher, about this whole entire process. Take a listen on what they had to say.
We would love to have this resolved as quick as we can and safely as we can for everybody involved. We did expend a lot of resources today, and those resources will be used again if this comes about. And everybody here is willing to participate to get this resolved.
Very frustrating because we know for a fact he was in Texas, we know for a fact he was in Alabama, and now we know for a fact he's back in Glenville, Georgia.
Now, the truck that they're talking about, they actually found the stolen truck that Chad Dasher had earlier today around 12:15 today. It is a black 2002 Sequoia. They mentioned before that the truck they were looking for, they thought had Alabama tags, but this truck had Macon County, Georgia tags. That's because Chad Dasher kept switching out the tags. That's how he was able to stay in front of this whole chase the entire time. So they say he knows exactly what he's talking about. Also, something else interesting about this case is that while I was out here shooting video and talking to neighbors about it, Chad Dasher's wife actually came up to me. She stopped me several times, just pausing and taking a look, and asked me, "Is this story that you're doing about Chad?" I told her, "Yes, ma'am, it is." Then she drove off the first time. The second time she found me again, asked me the same question, and just kind of talked to me, just pouring her heart about her husband with her kid right beside her. This story is very interesting. I'll have that story and a whole lot more coming up tonight at 10 and 11. But for now, reporting here live in downtown Reedsville, I'm Larry Sproul, WJCL News, working for you.
New developments in the murder case of a Fort Stewart soldier. Army Specialist John Eubanks' body was found at a campground on Post in November. Investigators say Carl Swain beat Eubanks to death. Swain has already been taken into custody. Now Eubanks' wife, Lily Eubanks, well, she's also being charged in his murder. The indictment lists blunt force trauma as a cause of death. Lily Eubanks was arrested last week. A detention hearing was held earlier this morning. A magistrate judge ordered Lily Eubanks be held pending trial.
Well, it looks like Metro Police may have yet another lawsuit on their hands. A captain already on administrative leave is now named in another potential lawsuit against the city, former Chief Willie Lovett, and the Metro Police Department. Captain Philip Riley was placed on paid leave 3 weeks ago over an undisclosed personnel issue. Well, now a notice of intent to sue has been filed. It claims Riley sexually harassed and retaliated against former officer Chastity Johansson. Well, City Manager Stephanie Cutter says the city will not settle and plans to fight their growing list of claims in court.
If we've done something to cause harm or damage to anyone, then we have to deal with that. But on the other hand, if there are frivolous complaints, then no, we're going to fight them.
The attorney handling the claim says he plans to file suit in 30 days.
I'm sure you all felt it by now. The temperature plummeted today. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Kirk tracking the changing temperatures for us tonight.
I hear it's going to be wet and cold. I had to dig Big Jen back out of the closet.
Both those things, yes. Next couple of days, we've got more rain on the way. Right now, we're tracking some rain that is out to our west, affecting areas along the central Gulf Coast and heading up into Alabama. Looks like, though, for most of tonight, we are going to be dry. And these clouds that are in place right now, where they're going to remain there as we look at our forecast model right on through the night. Notice that the clouds don't really go anywhere. And then as we head towards daybreak, you start seeing some green showing up on the map, so our rain chances will be increasing through 7 a.m. Temperatures in the morning will not be much different from where they are right now. Here's the latest computer model projection. Temperatures ranging from the upper 30s to low 40s. So we'll remain cold. Grab that coat and that umbrella as you head out the door in the morning. I'll have more in your forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Jeff. We are learning new details about the St. Patrick's Day bill that will allow bars to sell alcohol the Sunday before St. Patrick's Day.
Absolutely. Two identical bills are now working their way through both the House and the Senate. And lawmakers say they agree one will be signed in time for St. Patrick's Day. WJCL's Chelsea McDonald breaks it all down for us.
The idea now is to get both bills moving to eventually hit Governor Nathan Deal's desk. If passed, it will allow the city to license vendors to sell alcohol during the St. Patrick's weekend. So city and state officials are working to get this bill passed so that not only businesses, but you benefit.
Restaurants can sell alcohol on Sunday and package shops can too. So city council members think it's unfair only one class of business, bars, can't sell alcohol on Sunday during Savannah's biggest celebration.
So that's when they pushed the legislature and said, hey, we've got the biggest party of the year coming up. It's really one of the biggest money makers of the year for bars specifically. And they're going to have to sit on the sidelines during St. Patrick's Day. Is there something that you guys can do?
Well, House representatives and state senators are working together to make it happen.
I think we'll get this done in time for St. Patrick's Day and correct this anomaly, at least, so that we don't have to visit it again.
The House bill could be on the Senate calendar as early as Thursday. The same day, city council members will be in Atlanta for Savannah Chatham Day.
Our local officials to push our agendas on the state legislature. And certainly if the legislature needs more information, if they need a push to see this through, the mayor will be there front and center.
City Council sees this as a business equity issue, and they want to promote local businesses. Hotels, restaurants, and shops will see a profit because visitors are expected to arrive as early as Thursday before the holiday.
First of all, we have more hotel rooms available in Savannah than ever before, so a lot of rooms to fill. But we expect the city to be busy, but there's lots of availability.
Chelsea McDonald, WJCL News, working for you.
And don't worry, if you can't make it downtown, we are carrying the St. Patrick's Day Parade live on WJCL on Fox. Our coverage starts around 10 a.m. March 17th. Tune in for the festivities on one of the biggest days of the year.
All right, could Savannah be in danger of losing the Coastal Empire Fair? Well, WJCL News has learned that property used for the fair is now up for sale. A member of the Fair Association says they're asking $3.5 million for the 63 acres. Officials say they are still planning a fair this year. However, if the property is sold, they would have to find a new location. And if that can't be done in time, the fair would have to go elsewhere. Well, the property was put on the market about a year ago in the months following a shooting at the fairgrounds in 2012. So we asked if that triggered the move to sell and why it's on the market.
I can't comment on the shooting, that and litigation. We were exercising options. It's not the first time we've discussed this. We have had the same discussions on the board several times in the last few years, just looking for options to improve the fair.
Now, if we lose the Coastal Empire Fair, that would end a 64-year tradition. Plus, the fair is also a fundraiser for various youth programs. For now, again, it is set to be held in November at the fairgrounds on Medden Street, but we will have to wait and see if that happens. Kevin, people say they are simply shocked to hear this news, and we will hear more from them coming up tonight at 10 and 11.
All right, thanks, Jen. Still to come on WJCL News at 6, serving up short stacks in hopes the money goes a long way. More on the National Pancake Day and the worthy cause funded by Flapjacks. But first, the amazing journey of a Fort Stewart soldier has now come to an end. More on the 222-mile walk to raise money and spirits for his fellow soldier.
And now, WJCL News, working for you.
What started as a salute seen around the world has finished as the walk across the state today. A Fort Stewart soldier led a group from Hinesville to Columbus. He was raising money and awareness for his brother-in-law who lost his legs fighting overseas. And this is a story WJCL was the first to tell you about and follow throughout his journey.
WJCL's Nick Notario joins us now live in the studio with more on how this walk went. Nick?
Hey guys, this was not an easy walk. Distance aside, I mean, it was a long walk, but they didn't stay in hotels or stay in houses across this trek. Instead, as they made their way across the Peach State, many times they just camped out in tents. But they were given a little extra lift when the man they were walking for showed up and gave them his support. Waves of cheers and American flags filled the walkway of the National Infantry Museum in Columbus, Georgia this morning as Army Ranger Joshua Hargis made his way in. With the help of prosthetic legs, Hargis led a group into the museum who walked across Georgia to raise money and awareness for soldiers like him, a trip his brother-in-law, Fort Stewart soldier Patrick Griffith, organized.
It's been an adventure.
This all started after Hargis was injured overseas in Afghanistan in October. As he laid in bed, fighting for his life, his commanding officer pinned him with a Purple Heart, and Hargis raised his arm and saluted him, an image now known as the salute seen around the world. Hargis has gone through months of physical therapy, but still, here are photos the group posted online showing Hargis joining the walk and biking alongside. Hargis and his wife are expecting their first child soon, which is a big reason why Griffith wanted to do something to help them out. So he came up with the idea of the Warriors Walk. And this is the route that he set up and planned. They started first down here in Hinesville, Georgia, and walked the entire length of the state, and where they finished up is Columbus, a trip that was 222 miles and lasted 17 days. WJCL was there last month when the group of about a dozen took off.
Started the worst day, was the first day we did 21 miles straight, and that hurt us pretty good.
The walk wasn't easy, and some nights they camped in tents on farms. But overall, Griffith is proud of what he accomplished and could do something to help Hargis and his sister.
Everybody fought all the way through and got all the way to the end.
Griffith told us he had hoped to raise $100,000 to help his brother-in-law out. The website to learn more about his journey and story can be found on our website, WJCL.com. And of course, if you want to help and give any money or learn more, again, all that information is there. Fantastic story. Good ending from beginning to end.
Great story.
Yeah, inspirational guy. All right, hats off to him. We salute him.